Welcome to today's lecture on the illusion of correctness. Throughout this session, we will explore how seemingly correct systems can break under various pressures, such as concurrency and operational load. Imagine presenting a project that appears flawless after a straightforward demonstration. As soon as concurrency or operational stress is introduced, however, you might discover a critical hidden assumption at play, particularly regarding sequential bias.
What specific hidden assumptions should we be looking for?
Great question. We need to analyze assumptions related to the timing of operations and how they can impact overall system correctness. By the end of this lecture, you should be able to analyze the design pressures stemming from the illusion of correctness.
How do we evaluate the evidence of failure in these cases?
You'll learn to evaluate failure evidence using logs, traces, and repeatable scenarios. Let's dive into the core concepts that underline the illusion of correctness. These concepts include sequential bias, implicit locks, temporal coupling, system invariants, and failure modes.
Why are these concepts so critical for system design?
Each plays a vital role in helping us understand the conditions that must be explicit for a system to function correctly under pressure. Sequential bias refers to the design tendency where we assume that one step always precedes another. This assumption can lead to issues in concurrent systems.
What happens if we ignore this bias during design?
Ignoring it can result in duplicate operations, stale data, and misleading logs. That's why it's crucial to make it explicit. In single-threaded environments, a single thread acts as an implicit lock for all state. Removing this lock can expose the raw state.
But isn't this just solved by adding more locks?
Not necessarily. We need to recognize the conditions that must be explicitly managed to maintain correctness. Temporal coupling occurs when different parts of a system depend on each other's timing without explicit coordination.
How can we identify if our system suffers from temporal coupling?
You must analyze timing and interaction patterns to ensure explicit coordination exists where needed. A system invariant is a condition that must remain true across all valid executions. Identifying these is essential.
What happens if we don't maintain these invariants?
Failure to maintain them can lead to significant design flaws and systemic issues. Understanding failure modes gives us insight into repeatable ways a system can violate its invariants.
Can we predict these failure modes in advance?
While we can identify potential modes, actual conditions need to be tested under various scenarios. This visual representation captures the relationship between the concepts we've discussed.
What should we take away from this architecture view?
It emphasizes the need for validation evidence in our design decisions. Let's look at a practical example from the podcast domain where we check if the status is draft.
Could this lead to issues in concurrent executions?
Absolutely. Two threads could both check the status and proceed, causing unexpected behaviors. In our podcast domain scenario, updating an episode status can lead to overselling items due to concurrency issues.
What design strategies can we employ to avoid this?
We need strategies that recognize and mitigate potential race conditions effectively. Consider the naive workflow. An actor performs an operation, then the system reads the state, applies the transition, and emits a side effect.
What's the flaw in this approach?
It exposes the system to concurrency issues where operations can interleave unexpectedly. Under overlapping executions, the system might read stale state or execute the same operation multiple times.
How do we address this discrepancy?
We must align our design assumptions with the actual execution model, ensuring clarity around potential conflicts. To improve our design, we must name the invariant that needs protection and make transitions observable.
What specific controls should we implement?
Options include version checks, idempotency keys, or explicit coordination among operations. Now let's examine a visual model that illustrates how different components in our system interact.
What are we specifically looking at in this model?
We're focusing on understanding the concurrent operations taking place and the vulnerability to sequential bias. In this interaction, workers A and B both attempt to read the same episode record.
What risks does this present?
If they operate concurrently without proper controls, they might read the same initial state and conflict in processing. This table outlines the various states our episode can be in: draft, processing, ready to publish, and published.
How do we ensure that transitions maintain integrity?
We must carefully manage defined transitions to prevent integrity violations during concurrent operations. Let's consider a scenario where worker A and worker B both check the status as draft.
What's the consequence of this interaction?
The lack of coordination could lead to both workers initiating processing jobs, violating our invariant. To protect the core property of our system, we can implement mechanisms such as atomic compare and set or synchronized transitions.
But won't this reduce parallelism?
Yes, that's a crucial trade-off we need to consider in our design processes. Let's discuss common failure modes and anti-patterns, like when a system only passes single happy path tests.
How do we avoid falling into that trap?
We need to establish additional failure-focused tests that specifically target the invariants we aim to protect. Here we illustrate trade-offs associated with different design approaches, such as simple baselines versus idempotent designs.
When should we choose one approach over another?
It's essential to factor in your system's context and specific requirements when making these decisions. As part of your practical exercise, identify the relevant invariant for the illusion of correctness in your work.
What format should our evidence take when we present it?
Document a sequential scenario that should succeed and a pressure scenario exploring potential failures. This lecture supports your assignment by encouraging you to connect these concepts to your semester project.
What kind of evidence should we include in our packages?
Demonstrate mastery with concrete evidence, including logs, diagrams, and design defenses in your integrity packet. To reinforce your understanding, consider these validation questions.
What kind of evidence is necessary to prove a failure occurred?
You'll need structured evidence linked to identified design flaws and scenarios. In summary, the illusion of correctness serves as a critical framework for assessing system correctness in real-world executions.
What action should we take to ensure our designs are defensible?
Make concrete connections between these concepts, maintain observability, and ensure your designs can withstand scrutiny.